Why are we committing arson?
Because randomly it decided to stop picking up my audio on the stream, and I also didn't start the stream. So I mean, it was a period of us talking without the stream being on, and then I turned the stream on, and then it was a period of us talking without it picking up anything, because Discord and Windows. And by the way, so before I start talking about fan fiction tonight, I just want to talk about how much I hate Windows 11.
Yes, and
So I have a new computer.
Yes, okay.
New computer. So last year for Christmas, my mother was like begging me of, please tell me a present I can get you. You've asked for nothing for over 2 decades now. Just tell me something. And I was like, okay, well, I do need a new laptop because the laptop my father got me has been turned into a Linux crap box. Because A, it was HP, and B, he bought me some rinky-dink 4 gigabyte garbage top that back during the college scam era, where Best Buy and shit would be like, this is the best laptop you can buy for your college student, but get it so they're prepared for college. Let's start.
Yes, one of those.
Yeah. Let's start the stream on a good note, talking about the plague and Windows 11. Yeah. I mean, it's only going up from here.
Real quick, Sneaky, I do have 2 things I want to briefly mention.
Yeah,
First of all, I'm so glad Rogue Trader lets you do stupid stuff.
that's great to hear.
I stole a splinter rifle from the Dark Eldar. It has 16 rounds in the magazine. I empty it in 1 round of combat.
That's amazing.
There are many dead Dark Elves because of it.
Great to hear.
Pleased. The other thing is, so I got stuff from a Kickstarter today.
Uh-huh.
I misread one of the measurements. It was a bunch of stuff for one of Sanderson's books.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a 6 by 8-inch statue.
It is a 6 foot by 8 foot statue.
The box is fucking enormous. I have nowhere to put this.
Well, that sounds like a you issue.
It is. So now it's going in the basement until I move out, where it will remain in the box, because what in the goddamn fuck am I gonna do with this statue?
What the hell did you order that is 6 feet tall?
A statue. We just
A
covered
statue.
that. Come
A
on,
statue of what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. So anyway,
Yeah, what it actually is it's just a 6-foot statue of Brandon saying thanks for your money, sucker.
Basically. So anyway, I was like, fuck it, I need a new laptop, right? She's willing to pay for pretty much anything, so I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So I found a laptop that's like a 3080 graphics card in there. It's like a an i11 4790K, i7 Intel card, whatever CPU, right?
Yeah,
32 gigabytes of RAM, and it was like 60% off too, because they were doing like the fuck it, we need it out of here, stock be gone sale. And I was like, right, well, fuck it. It's like $1,000 on a 60% sale, so let's go. And so that's just been sitting on my couch for like the past year. Look, I use a laptop maybe twice a year, okay?
No. Listen, I understand. I have.
Isn't your laptop
I
mainly
gave my
used for
sibling
VR now?
my old laptop.
What?
And the one that I have is just sitting in a room. It was turned into the VR. It was turned into the VR machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
It can
think that
handle
one
VR.
you turned into the VR machine because you were just like, I'm not using this for anything else.
No, I mean, there you go. I mean, yeah, if it works, it works.
I finally, I wasn't going to school. I wasn't leaving the house much. So I was like, it is now more efficient for me to simply acquire a desktop.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. Is I was like, well, I'm like barely ever going to use this thing, but when I do actually travel, my shit top is so it's a fucking shit top, okay? It's absolute fucking dog shit. It can barely even play pixel piracy. It actually can't play pixel piracy. It actually crashes after 2 hours of playing pixel piracy because it's too hot. And that's with a cooling
Wow.
stand that it's on. Okay? Like, this thing is absolute dog shit. I had to install Linux onto it so it would boot up and run.
Oh,
Yeah, that
wait,
sounds about right.
The cooling thing may be an issue with Linux. It doesn't control all fans all the time. I've had this issue with my
Look,
own
okay, look.
fans. Had to
You
figure out a
you say all fans. There is one fan.
I mean,
There's
all
one
fans,
fan.
all manufacturers of all motherboards.
Yeah, no, I know, but this is an HP top. There is a singular fan.
Yeah, there's a singular fan.
It is poorly placed, and let me tell you, it's running.
Oh my god!
I can guarantee you, it is
Sneaky.
running.
You have triggered a deep-seated internal rage from college.
Oh, from the fucking gamer laptops.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is so one day, good old Nose was in my dorm. We were playing some video games.
Oh yeah, I had a fucking shitty HP.
Nose's HP sounded like it was attempting to go to the fucking stars. And I'm like, by the Emperor, what is wrong with that? And I look at it and I see quite a bit of dust on there. And I'm like, Nose, when was the last time you cleaned out the fans?
And
I was very annoyed by this because Nose, despite numerous appearances on this show, is not an idiot.
I
at
believe
least
the
when it
words
comes
I
to
said was clean.
At least, yeah. Well, this enraged me because I assumed this man knew how to care for a computer, and so I said, "Fine, whatever." Had my computer cleaning kit with me because, believe it or not, that was a way that I made some decent scratch in college. Was cleaning up people's laptops.
Sure.
I'll defend myself after this story because
No,
there's a little bit of
your
defense going on.
defense.
No defense.
You will be defended in the story. So I go looking up how to clean this particular model of HP.
The answer is you don't. Fuck off and die.
The answer is fuck you for attempting it.
Yes.
What you had to do was you had to take off the back plate. Okay, that's pretty simple. Take out the battery. Yeah, okay, that's normal. Now you need to take out the graphics card, the motherboard, and because it had a graphics card, you have to take out the graphics card. Okay. Then you need to punch out, not literally punch out, but forcefully remove the front keyboard casing from behind. And now you can get access
Hold on,
to
what
the
model
fan.
is this?
Yeah, no, average HP computer. You know,
It
And
can
I
be
looked
perfectly.
I looked at all of this. And Nose had seen me getting somewhat like he'd seen me getting a little baffled looking, but right. Everybody, I forget what everybody else was doing. I think we were doing like a group run of like Mario Sunshine or something. Anyway,
I think someone was playing Mario Sunshine and was
point is
complaining about
he's
the
not
rocket
looking at
level.
this, right? He's not looking at this.
Yeah.
And I just turned to him and I just said, "Fuck you. Your laptop stays dirty."
Yeah. No. So anyway, I will say though, I do like this Gigabyte laptop. So this is like an actual genuine air quotes gamer laptop because there is literally the entire section. So it's a bit of a thick boy, okay? But the entire section underneath the keyboard is a giant heatsink, and it has two fans in it, one for intake and one for outtake, that runs all of the air through this giant fucking heatsink.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it was getting like super hot because the fans were barely running, and I was looking at it, I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, oh, the fans aren't running at max speed. And then so it has a fucking fan control in there, so I turned the fans on. And it sounds like it's fucking taking off. And I'm looking at the temperature, it's like 75, and it's like 50. I'm like, holy shit, okay, so this actually works.
Mhm.
But,
I mean, yeah.
yeah,
it
so
does work.
I basically I'm using it as a Minecraft server now. But the Minecraft server kept going offline. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I'm looking at it, I'm noticing that the keyboard backlight turning off every once in a while. I'm like, that's coinciding with the Minecraft server going offline. So I'm like, alright, what the fuck's going on? So I get in, I'm looking around, and I'm looking at the fucking event viewer, and I'm seeing it, kernel power event, sleep. I'm like, that's weird, because I turned sleep off. I didn't turn sleep off, technically. So what was happening, as I later found out, is that Windows 11 was helpfully noticing that sleep was turned off and helping me by turning it back on.
No.
Yes, very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, that was happening with my laptop too at some points.
Yep.
Oh, I should turn my laptop into a cross boost server. That's what I should do.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
that was what was happening, is that it was helping me by turning sleep back on, and I was like,
now
no.
here's my question. That's a very sensible heat design, but did it still vent the heat directly on your dick?
Well, no, actually, it's a sideways, not a down.
Oh, good. By the way, can I just take a moment to complain about, like,
Also,
know,
yeah,
like
that is a
10 years
huge
worth,
question. Yeah.
like 10 years worth of gaming laptop design where they were like, oh, hey, look, these people, they're gamers, yo. Their gamer things use lots of heat. We need to fix this. Vent the heat directly on their crotch.
Well, it's not just that. It's like, I mean, like, first off, like, let's be clear here. No one designs a laptop with the idea that it's actually going to be sitting in their fucking lap, okay? Like, yeah, it's called a laptop, but no one's actually using a laptop in their lap.
Unless you're
I
playing.
mean, when I'm at the airport.
Okay, when
Or
you're
when
at the
I'm-
airport, right? But, like, a majority of the time, even if someone has a laptop, it's still going on a desk.
But even if it's going on a desk, that's still terrible design. because
Right,
it's
but that's my point, though, is it doesn't, like, theoretically, it being on your lap would allow for a downward draft fan. Because theoretically, your lap is not a solid object. Because theoretically, you aren't that fat yet. But,
Excuse you, my thighs are gloriously thick.
I'm sure.
He
But
squats for the emperor.
No, I am not a custodian.
But why would you make a laptop design that pushes air into a location that isn't guaranteed to actually be able to exchange the air?
Because then the laptop has lower life expectancy, meaning you have to call in and replace it
I know.
or get it serviced
I
for
know.
money.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Hey, look, you know, as much shit as I'll give Windows laptops, they aren't Macs. Have you guys been keeping up on the Mac stuff on that shit?
Okay.
Which, at this
No,
time...
Wait. No. Before we start,
Yeah.
I want to tell you all a story.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So, we had a new employee start at our company, and she's in the marketing department. And I want to be clear, our marketing department actually does shit instead of just waste money.
Oh,
which
wow.
is amazing.
Interesting.
Most of the time they're actually going to events and like drumming up customers.
That actually become customers?
Yes, that actually become customers.
Amazing.
Which is how I know that they're not which is how I know that they're not being used as booth babes, because they actually
Surprising.
understand our machinery.
Impossible.
Don't lie.
But anyway, so, but they also do like social media marketing and stuff like that. So one of them needed a Mac to access video editing programs. Fine, whatever. They were familiar with Mac video editing programs, so they wanted to work on a Mac.
Like
Fine.
what? Final Cut?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Final
Final
Cut.
You can run that in Windows.
Final
I
Cut's
don't-
not on Mac anymore.
Well,
I
this
don't-
was probably when it
I
was.
want to be clear. I was not
Mm.
the one doing the buying at this point, so I don't know all of this.
Well, no.
The point is
bro,
they
no,
needed a
it's
Mac.
like before Atin left college, it was no longer on Macs.
That makes me feel old. Anyway, look. The point is, they wanted a Mac. Fine, whatever. We'll get them a Mac. The amount of bullshit that you have to go through to give Apple your money.
Yep.
First, we had to make an account.
Yep.
So we make an account and we try to buy it. And then we have to call them. We had to call them to check to see if it was in stock. And through the course of this conversation, they find out it's for a business. And they say, oh, you can't do this. What do you mean I can't do this? You need to make a business account. This is a personal account. So the so the guy trying to buy it tries to make a business account. Except you have a personal account. You can't make a business account with this email.
Yep.
So we try to use one of the other emails associated with the company. And they go, oh, well, someone's already set up a business account for this company with this email, with this domain name. So you can't do that.
Right, yeah.
And we proceed, the poor bastard that is my coworker proceeded to spend a month trying to purchase this Mac. I felt so
I
bad
feel
for
no
them.
sympathy. Nope.
None.
Yep, no.
They weren't the ones who made the decision to buy it. They were just told to buy it.
Oh, okay. I thought this was the person that was trying to buy it. Okay.
No. This is the person. The person who wanted it had nothing to do with the purchasing process.
Well, they should have been. They should. It should have been handed off to them, and they should have been told, "Go fucking buy it yourself. We'll reimburse you the money."
Literally, yes.
We did, in fact, reach that point.
Yep.
But yeah, just the amount of barriers Apple puts between you and giving them your money, I do not comprehend.
You want to know another fucking? You want to know another Mac filter? So, Mac designers, in their infinite overpaid wisdom, have decided to place a 480 volt fuse on top of the SSD.
Oh no.
What?
Yeah. So when that fuse burns out, because it's also being crossed with a 1.5 volt fuse for the RAM.
Oh no.
And this is a frequent, constant occurrence. It burns out the SSD, it burns out the RAM, and it burns out the motherboard. And you want to know what this magical 480 volt fuse is for? The fucking
LCD?
backlight.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh.
First of all, why? Okay, I'm gonna quote my electrical buyer, who is, and I want to be clear, he's a certified electrician.
Yeah.
And he has been building our electrical relays for 35 years. He has worked at the company since he is 18.
Yeah.
When he came over from Poland.
Yeah.
It's 2023. Why in God's name are you using fuse?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, no, it's completely ridiculous. It's completely insane. It's absolutely fucking retarded. And the fucking spark jump from these goddamn fuses on the fucking motherboard burns them out every single time. and it causes these Macs to have like a lifespan of a single year, and which is obviously on purpose. So
It's intentional.
anyone that uses a Mac, fucking perish. You deserve everything bad that happens to you. You are the sort of person that buys a blender that has a unshielded blade, and you can't. There's no casing on the blender either. So the only way to use the blender is to hold the object you want blended to the unshielded blade. And you're like, no, this is better. It's more natural.
They sell that outside of China, the land of
Oh.
no OSHA.
Yes, actually, they call it a food processor. It's a handheld blender that you push down into food that blends it, and it's unshielded, exactly as Sneaky described. It's just not as big as a blender.
Yeah. But anyway, point being is that if you use that as your go-to device that everything in your life should be routed through, and then you get shocked when the unshielded blender blade cuts your hand and turns it into mincemeat, well, you deserve it.
That's hurtful, but understandable.
I mean, have you seen the prices on these fucking laptops? These laptops cost like $3,000 fucking dollars, and my goddamn shit top can go faster than that.
Bro,
no.
I literally could buy.
There was
a
once upon a
fucking-
time when I looked at Apple and I was like, this is fine. It's
You could literally
right.
buy a good desktop with that pre-built.
Yes.
A good desktop. You can buy a fucking great desktop.
There was a point in time that I had a Mac laptop, and I had a Mac laptop because my mother was a Mac fanatic, and I was like 10 years old, so I didn't really have an option in what kind of computer I had. I was given one and was told, this is what you use. Okay. And now, don't get me wrong, I tried to convince her many times to stop using Macs. She still hasn't. She also stopped complaining to me about her Mac problems, because at one point she even just said to me, I stopped complaining to you because at this point I've realized that all of my problems I have on my Mac are completely my fault for using a Mac.
I finally managed to convince the Mac using members of my family to never ask me for assistance with a Mac again, because I don't know them. I don't care to learn them. They're evil.
Not only that, they're counterintuitive. Like, I will give Windows a ton of shit, right? I will give Windows an endless tide of shit. But it's not a Mac. And, like, on Macs, I'll be like, oh, I want to grab this file and move it to this location. And it's like, well, actually, what you grabbed was a PNG of the file. And to find the real file to move it to the location, what you need to do is you need to use our searchlight function. And then you need to use the searchlight function to open the File Explorer search function, to open the Finder function, to then finally get the actual file location. But actually, because you've moved the file, it no longer registers in our system.
Fucking cursed.
Extraordinarily cursed.
And it's just like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, so I can't move these files around and then just point them to that location now? No, you can't. Because Apple has helpful features like user unintuitiveness, where they set up everything for you and you can't set up anything yourself. So if you say you want to point something towards a folder on your desktop instead of the Apple user documents folder, which is like 5 folder trees deep into the fucking Finder Explorer thing that they have going on, and it's a real pain in the ass to get to each time, because of course, also, by the way, the Finder never remembers your position when you open the last folder, apparently, and so every single time this person wanted to open a file with Microsoft Word, I'm just like, at this point, what the fuck are you doing? Just you have all of these Microsoft programs and you're still using a fucking Mac. But whatever.
So at that point, you might as well be using a fucking Windows computer. It's
And
just awful.
you're just still like Mac users are stupid. You are like stupid squared to use Microsoft products on a Mac because again, even though it's technically illegal for them to make the product worse on a non-Windows operating system, it's also not Microsoft's fault if the product is worse on a non-Microsoft operating system when the fucking operating system, because I know, by the way, that this shit works perfectly fine on Linux. When the non-Microsoft operating system is Mac, and Mac is like, oh, sorry, we don't use .doc file type, we use this special .osx file type.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that's the thing, right? They didn't intentionally make it worse. Apple, there was a point in time where Apple, where I endlessly suggested Apple to non-tech intelligent people because it was a small user base. It was largely idiot proof.
Yes.
Because it didn't let people do things, right? And because it was such a small user base, there was they could go to like the dark web and they wouldn't get viruses. Because nobody made viruses for Mac because there was no point.
Yeah.
And
Do now.
the biggest thing was it was so easy to use, right? I didn't have to do a whole lot to show them how to do stuff. And it was great. And now it sucks. And also, Apple is now paying the price for never having bothered to make any kind of antivirus.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, on top of that, like don't get me wrong, like I get it. Like the whole fucking to install this app, all I have to do is move the app executable into the app folder on the Apple, and suddenly the program works. I don't have to do any sort of like installing or registry shit. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I get it. It's great, very user friendly. However, when something breaks, you can't fucking fix it.
I will give Apple this. They were the first to get seamless backups working, like 100% working.
Oh, yeah,
they did good on that.
To be fair, though, you also needed that to work because every single update that Apple released broke the fucking Mac.
Yeah. Oh, but you think the software is bad? I've had to go elbow deep in these fuckers. I know what the guts of them look like. No.
I know. And it's fucking terrible across the board. Hardware, software,
Oh, yeah.
firmware doesn't fucking matter. It's goddamn awful. It is the worst shit in fucking existence. Like, I swear to God. Like, what the fuck are these people coding in fucking Java? Like, every single time Apple updates, all of the programs have to update with it, or else the programs just stop fucking working. And it's like, what did you do? Did you re-fucking factor the entire operating system every update? Like, what the fuck is going on in them?
No. See, the hardware thing is it's explicitly made to be as unintuitive, counterintuitive, and aggressive to your average user with a screwdriver trying to fix a problem as possible, to the point where if you lift this more than exactly X number of millimeters, you will break the tiny little cable
Oh, I know. Yeah.
that goes to your display or your keyboard, and then you have to call Apple and get a new one, a new motherboard.
Listen,
Yeah,
that is
I
why
know.
I have an infinite amount of respect for what is the YouTube channel? The guy who repairs every Mac product at home out of spite.
Louis Rossman or whatever his
Yeah.
name is. Yeah.
Louis Rossman.
You know what? That man has picked a hill to die on, and I salute him for dying on that hill.
His hill to die on is firebombing Apple HQ.
No, but for real, he's winning though. Like,
I know.
unironically, he is taking Apple to court over right to repair cases, and he unironically wins. And every time Apple launches another one of these stupid court cases, they lose. They lose more and more because Apple has forgotten. It's always amazing when this happens to giant corporations because Apple forgot the most important rule of court. Does anyone know what the most important rule of court is?
I have
Whoever has
evidence.
the most money wins.
Wrong. The most important rule of court is do not ask a question you do not know the answer to.
Yes. Yeah.
And the most important question is not asked in the middle of the courtroom. It is asked before you get in there. And it is, if I lose,
What
could this
happens?
make things worse for me?
Yeah. Yeah, before you start the court case, just remember, you can lose.
You can lose. And you might, in fact, make everything worse for yourself.
Yeah, but Apple's got money to throw away and enough money to normally sink most people, so they're willing to try.
I know, but that's what makes it so much more fun when they lose.
Oh,
They
yeah,
have to
absolutely.
this man.
But, speaking of dumb people and a lose-lose scenario, let's talk about some fan fiction now,
Oh, wait, before we do one thing.
Oh,
I
yeah?
thought this was a text stream.
No.
There
Yeah,
was a
that's what I was
no, no,
It's
hoping.
about
there
telling
was a,
stories.
This is great. There was a train, a company that ran trains in Poland, and it would have cost them $20,000 to get technicians out to look at all their trains. So they had a local repair service that serviced like
Oh, yeah, Lewis made a video on this. Yeah, they found that the train was DRM'd.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so
Yeah, so to make a very long story short,
to make a very long story short and make it even shorter than whatever Atin's about to say. So basically, in the programming of the train itself, of the operating system that was on the train, they found a literal scripted event that would cause the train to stop working and need repairs, except the idea was that this would be done around the time that a repairman from the company would be sent out to repair the train anyway for their yearly checkup. But when that didn't happen, because, well, they literally just guessed in the operating system when the theoretical repairman would be sent out, the train broke a long time before that time. And so when the repair team that was not from the company went poking around inside the train and found this, everyone was like, excuse us?
Oh no, you're forgetting the one of the more important parts of that, which was
Oh, it gets better.
Yeah.
the program they found. You must not see, Linus must not have found this part yet. That program got activated because they had it serviced by this outside company, and of course, because it's a train, the train has a GPS. The company figured out that it was sitting idle for a couple of days at a location. They just checked the GPS coordinates. Hey, this isn't one of our locations, and it's sitting idle for a couple of days. So they're getting it repaired by someone else. Boop! Time for problems.
Yeah.
Because the thought process was, oh, we'll send it to XY. They'll send it to XYZ company. It'll break real bad, and they'll go, Jesus Christ, we'll never use XYZ company again. Let's get the real company out here.
Yeah. And then
Except they just took it back there, and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" And
dog shit programming. Yeah.
And they found that.
So illegal as shit, caught with their pants down.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And Poland has so much stricter laws about that bullshit than the U.S., man.
Oh, Poland's having a ball.
A reminder that people were unironically making guides for farmers to jailbreak their John Deere tractors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's honestly, I'm surprised the U.S. courts let that go on for as long as it did. Because you are aware that John Deere is the #1 seller for these products, and you're letting them have a stranglehold on the United States of America's crop supply by allowing this, right?
Man, it's just gonna be a wild day for me. The day that someone decides to fuck around and find out with me. And that sort of shit. Because I actually avoid that shit on purpose. My fucking car is so anachronistic in terms of what's actually in it that you would be surprised to hear that I actually bought it in 2014. And not 2004. But The day someone's like, "Oh, we're gonna put this software that makes your life worse in here," it's like, all right, well, I guess I'll just start firebombing your HQ until you fix this issue.
Sneaky, that has been a thing in cars since, I don't know, electrical systems for vehicles came out with the whole, oh, the check engine light came on. I wonder why that is. Oh, you had to go to the mechanic. They had to put in a button mash combo to reset it. That's been a thing for decades.
Oh no, I know the idea behind it has been a thing for decades. I mean, hey, first off, I just ignore the check engine light.
No.
My car's fine.
That's not a good idea. Might I suggest a $20 tool that you plug into your car that will tell you the code, and you can look the code up on several publicly available sources.
No,
Yep, get one of those.
yeah,
accelerators.
whatever. I know my car's fine. Okay. Point being, I mean, like
Okay, old man.
genuine, actual, like we're gonna make this object stop working. Fuck around and find out shit.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, no, it's like the day someone does that with me, it's just like,
So the day someone tries to force a Tesla on you, you're pulling a gun.
effectively, yes. Wow, you've repossessed my car? That's funny. I just repossessed your life. Weird how that works.
Unfortunately, while you have repossessed my car, there is a pipe bomb in the front seat.
Unfortunately, for personal reasons, you have passed away.
Friendly reminder. Ford patented that bullshit.
Oh, I know. Anyway,
Patented
so
what?
as you can see here, this is a Ruby story called "A Hunter from the South" in Remnant. I couldn't not read this because, I mean, come on, that title.
Okay, I'm either gonna get a good laugh out of this, or I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, I mean, we got enough Southerners in here. I feel like I could trigger at least one of them.
Oh, good. The author's name is Mr. Gator. Okay.
Yeah. A young man from Texas was on his way to meet his father at hunting camp when all of a sudden his truck got pulled into a portal to unknown world. Can his hunting skills come in handy in Remnant, or will this world be where he dies?
He dies.
He dies.
You know what? Man unironically is using the word y'all in his author's note. This is gonna be something. Also, fun fact: y'all has two spellings, and no one can agree on which one's the right one.
Obviously, it's whatever one I use. Anyway, I'm just infinitely amused by this because, like, will his hunting skills come in to help? No, not really, not at all, actually, because majority of hunting is using things like tracks, scents, scat, hair, you know, learning the patterns of, like, oh, there's a river here, and I can see this is where the deer rub up against the tree when they come to the river. So if I follow this path, I'll find deer. Like, that's what hunting is.
Yeah,
that doesn't apply to Grim.
Both are accepted. Sign. Get fucked.
No, you get fucked.
Like that. That doesn't happen for Grim. Grim, yeah, sure, I guess Grim might leave tracks. We actually don't know how heavy Grim are.
Oh man, you know, I'm real curious now. I hope, ideally, this would only last one chapter, because he tried to track a Grim, and then tried to bait a trap. Not realizing he was the bait the entire time.
Yeah. It's like that's the thing though, it's like, okay, like they don't respond to bait, like you leaving meat out isn't gonna attract Grim, they're gonna come for you. You can't camo against Grim because they see your soul. You can't, scent wash against Grim because they see your soul. You can't you know, there's no like, oh, if I stand really still, I'll be able to line up a shot because the deer doesn't understand a gun. It's a grim. It sees you and it's going to come eat you. There is no thought process of like, most animals, when they see another animal, they go, okay, what do I do here? Do I run? Do I fight? Do I, like, sideswipe them and then run? Well, no, see, that's the thing, though. It's like there's a lot of animals go through this whole process. And yes, it goes very fast normally, but the deer is trying to figure out, the reason why the deer freezes is because the deer is, trying to figure out what is it seeing. And then it's trying to associate what it's seeing with what it remembers predators are. And then it's trying to associate those two things with how is it going to approach me, because again, it doesn't understand guns, and all it understands is claws and teeth. And so obviously, if you're going to try and kill it, you will obviously be approaching it. And so it's trying to figure out which direction it needs to sprint in to have the best chance at getting away, but you not moving at it makes the deer not move, because the deer is trying to figure out which direction you're going to move.
Well, now, to be fair, I will say some deer have figured out, they have figured out guns. They have figured out deer stands.
Oh, 100%,
they have figured out fucking feed plots and things like that. They will only come around at certain times, which is usually
100%. I mean, the turkeys in my area have figured out when the hunters gather, okay? Like, I'm not saying animals are dumb and they can't learn, because obviously they can learn, because obviously they've lived to this point, and all of the ones that couldn't learn died. Whether that's because they got eaten or whatever, but they died, and so they didn't reproduce, usually. So
we've been teaching them this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, point being, though, is that none of that works on Grimm. The only part of hunting that works on Grimm is the part where you take your gun out and shoot it, which is the last part of hunting.
Well, no, you can track Grimm.
But I mean,
we actually don't know that.
Well, okay.
You see it.
No, let's be clear. You could track a Grimm. What's the McFucking point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be easier to lure it to you.
Yeah.
A, it would be easier to lure it to you, and B, this is not like, it's not like you're hunting wolves to solve wolf overpopulation eating all the animals.
Or you're not like, oh, there's a super predator lounging in the area, like oh, there's a fucking nesting grizzly mother or some shit right next to a suburb, or like, it's not like,
this is not Cocaine Bear.
Right, this is not like, these Grimm are gonna go to a location to nest. They don't do that because they don't reproduce like that. So there's no real point in tracking a Grimm, because it's not going to return to a location to just settle down every time. Now, shit like Nevermore's, I could believe, would return to a nest, air quotes, and I use air quotes here, because what it really is it's a high location that the Nevermore can look down on to find people to kill from.
Here's the thing, though. I sincerely, I think, if anything, Nevermore's would be in essentially what is a permanent migratory state.
You would think that, except Rooster Teeth established that they nested in episode 3.
I mean,
okay,
yes,
so Rooster Teeth is fucking stupid. Okay,
yes,
so
Rooster Teeth is fucking dumb. Yeah,
but that's one. Borbotusks do not nest. Ursas do not nest.
Right, yeah, pretty much everything else is in a permanent migratory state. And that's the thing, there's no point in tracking them, because you're just gonna find them eventually anyway, because they're coming for you. Like there's no part of the hunting that actually means anything except for the part where you shoot the Grimm, which again is the last part of hunting, and is It's not like normal hunting either, because the Grimm come in an endless death wave, and normal hunting doesn't work like that. The 40 deer don't burst out of the brush charging at you, and you have to...
Actually,
You just hear
No. Hang
Steven
on, let's be
saying,
clear. 40 deer do not burst out of the bush, charging you, attempting to eat your face.
Yes, that's my point.
no, they do. They burst out. They do attempt to trample and or skewer you. Oh, piss off a mama doe or a big buck, they will run you down and kill you.
Right, no, but my point is that when you're
The hunt never
hunting...
deals with that.
If you're hunting correctly, you're pretty much not dealing with a mega herd that's trying to run you down. I mean, yeah, you can stumble upon them and they'll be like, all right, time to fuck you up. But if you're hunting correctly, you're probably on a deer stand, or you're far away from a location you've laid either a trap at, or from a location you know the deer are passing through, and then you take your shot on the deer that you want, and then you kill that deer, and then you wait for the rest of them to run away, and then you retrieve the body. And that's your hunting. And that's it. But that's not how Grimm hunting works. The Grimm will rush you in a giant death wave until you either die or you kill them all. So it's a little bit different. And even the shooting aspect is a little bit different. You know? So...
Clearly, the Grimm have just been playing Left 4 Dead and know how to actually swarm players.
I really hate that Core tried this shit, and I hate it that these fucking Ruby tards are out here being like, oh, well, real life hunting skills can apply to hunting Grimm, except literally not a single bit of real life hunting skill applies to you hunting a Grimm. The only part that does apply is the fact that you know how to fire a gun.
It's more like being a soldier, really.
Yeah, it's not actually hunting. It's literally the World War Z. All right, guys, we're gonna send up a flare, and the zombies are gonna come at us. And there is 2 results from this: we kill all the zombies, or we die. And the other part of this fucking summary I absolutely hate is, or will this world be his final resting place? So A, it posits that somehow his hunting skills of hunting deer and boar are going to apply to hunting Grimm. Which they don't. We just established that. And B, that it's somehow going to be critical to his survival to do so. And then C, that somehow his hunting skills are going to get him home.
Clearly, he's just going to hunt the biggest game, and then he'll be retrained to put it back.
Because
it's like a Monster Hunter mission.
I hate to break this to you, author. His final resting place is going to be the planet that he dies on from old age. Regardless, he could be the best hunter in existence somehow. Grim Slaughterer 9000 extraordinaire. He's still going to die to old age. So unless he suddenly magically makes his way back to Texas after becoming the Grim Killer 9000, his final resting place is still gonna be Remnant.
You see, what they don't know is that if you kill and eat enough Grimm, you too can become immortal.
No, you probably just become edgy as fuck.
Yes, and through that edginess, you can become immortal. The immortal edge.
Underplayed says setting
cringy.
traps could be good for hunting Grimm, and not really. So, say you set up a bear trap. The point of a bear trap is to A, deal grievous damage, but B, bear traps don't kill. Typically.
Obviously, we're not setting up bear traps for Grimm, Sneaky. You'd be setting up something more like a hog trap, where when they approach, it goes boom and takes out an entire horde of them.
But
tannerite, where you shoot the tannerite and it kills them all.
But that's not a hunting trap, then. That's just a
Yeah,
fucking
there's-
IED.
That's
No,
yeah.
that is a legitimate hunting trap. That is for hunting hogs.
Okay, yes, the mass slaughter of total hog death, I understand. It's still just an IED. That's,
Yes.
you know, when I talk about hunting, I mean hunting for food and sport, not genocide. Genocide.
That's not a sport.
Genocide is a little bit of a different. Well, it'll be really hard to determine the size of the hog you killed if you just blew it apart using 30 pounds of tannerite.
I don't give a fuck. It's gonna be fun. And hey, there's still some meat left.
But that's not sport.
It is for me.
No, but that's literally not the definition of sport.
Yeah, it's the definition, schmefinition.
That's called hobby at that point. Anyway, total hog death. Genocide is a completely different application. Like, the tactics you would use to genocide a species in the area, whether that's wolves, bears, hogs, or deer, which, I mean, now admittedly, we actually do have to do that occasionally, because sometimes they just keep fucking.
And
Anytime
we
they
gotta
get
start
enough
fucking 'em.
food.
And
What, excuse you?
yeah, I don't know about that one. But
Oh,
anyway,
come on, sign. Don't you know that if the animals breed enough, they eventually just start turning into human-animal hybrids?
of course.
That's how
Hold on
science
now.
works, sign.
Anyway, point being,
You should know that.
I'd like to see some research data on this.
point being is that sometimes you have to kill them off. Anyway, genociding the species is a completely different set of application of force than hunting for sport or food.
Yes.
You wouldn't use 30 pounds of tannerite to hunt a deer so you could eat it, because there's not going to be a lot left of that deer. Or pretty much anything in the area. So,
Yeah, but fuck that deer and everything around him.
But point being is that,
I've decided now to use artillery to hunt deer.
Snare traps, obviously, well, I mean, that's what the Forest Service does.
The what?
Snare traps don't really
The Forest
work
Service.
against any of the Grim. A bear trap, again, even if you made it a Grim tier bear trap, it wouldn't really work, because the point of a bear trap is not to kill the animal, it's to keep it in one place so you can come kill the animal. It's to deal a grievous mobility injury to the animal, which the Grim don't care about because they don't have muscles or bones. And it's to deal shock damage to the animal, which again, the Grim can't get because they don't have nerves to take shock damage with. So a bear trap on a Grim would just keep the Grim stationary. Congratulations, you got one of the 30 Grim in that Beowulf pack.
I'm not even sure it would keep them stationary.
No, they do wolves and just rip or chew their own leg off.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't really need to.
No, not even that,
They just rip it out of the ground, I guess, yeah.
They're notably stronger than normal animals.
Yeah, they could just rip it out of the ground.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, theoretically...
Like you said, even if you made a Grim, a Grim tier bear trap, whatever the materials that encompasses, right? They don't give a shit, right? Let's pretend you do in fact immobilize the Grim.
Yeah.
Right? It can't break out. It can't kill them. Congratulations, you have created a stationary hazard.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's also like it's also like, you put out a bear trap. You're hunting wolves. You put out a bear trap, and the bear trap goes off and gets one of the wolves. You've actually immobilized a majority of the wolf pack, actually, because the wolf pack won't abandon the wolf.
I mean,
typically.
Here's the thing: they'll also probably try and stop you from killing one of the wolves.
Sure, but You get one wolf, you have immobilized most of the pack. They will eventually leave it when they want to starve, when they start getting super hungry.
Yeah, or the other wolf starts like dying. But
Well,
point being
that's
though
different.
is a wolf pack is also typically like a maximum of 5 to 6 wolves. So congratulations, you've immobilized 5 or 6 wolves. It's like, that's great, fantastic. The trap worked as intended. You set off a bear trap on a Grim. Again, you got 1 Grim out of the 100. And the 99 that aren't bear trapped are just gonna keep going. So you haven't actually accomplished anything. Yeah, you could set up IEDs, but at that point, you're just setting up IEDs. It's like you're just putting mines in the ground, and the Grim step on them and explode. That's just a normal anti-Grim defense at that point. That's not really a hunting technique that could be used. There's no real application of real-world hunting skills that actually apply to killing Grim. Because
they're not
Grim aren't animals. Yeah, Grim aren't real animals.
They're not animals.
They don't behave like animals. They don't leave the same signs as animals. They don't have patterns in the same way animals do. Like, yeah, sure, you can be like, oh, well, I can notice the patterns of the Grim. Oh, the herd of Grim is getting bigger. And I can tell this by the fucking scratches on the trees, because like the Grim pushed the tree out of its way or something. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess, but like that's not really a hunting technique at that point. That's just noticing the tree has a giant gouge in it and it's being pushed sideways. It's like you can probably make the guess that an Ursa did it. It's like, that's not really like oh yes, I'm going to taste the wind and notice that I am downwind and therefore they can't sense me. Like, that's not like a hunting technique. It's like, oh, hey guys, I think a Grim might be in the area because well, there's 100 Grim right there.
Dead.
Yeah. I'm really putting my Sherlock skills to the test here.
I was gonna say, it's not like you can go looking through the woods and be like, ah, yes, from this piece of 4-week-old shit, I have determined there is a Grim.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just I'm sorry. This is why I fucking hated Core's story. That shit was the dumbest fucking shit ever. Oh, John hunts for game in the Grimlands, and then Ren somehow shows up there. And can Ren...
That's like saying I can go hunt in the Chaos Waste. No, you fucking can't.
Yeah.
There's no food.
And then John in the Grimlands teaches Ren valuable lessons on survival. Because he then takes his skills as an animal hunter and applies them to killing Grim. It's like, what the fuck are you smoking?
Yes. The answer is yes, that's what he's smoking.
What the hell? Interlude 28, Maria Sins. What?
What? No.
I tried this story despite the numerous bad reviews, thinking, well, it can't really be that bad. I have read it, and I can now attest that, yes, it is in fact that bad. I rather read Rent-a-Girlfriend than this pile of garbage. It started out well enough, but quickly went downhill to the point. I'm certain there must be a hidden chapter where all the characters receive a lobotomy, because the only explanation possible for their dog shit decision making.
Whew.
Damn. I cannot believe he'd rather read the worst manga.
I mean,
is it the worst?
It's definitely got the worst fans.
Rent-a-Girlfriend just gone downhill. Even the author's going on dates with a cardboard cutout of the girl.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Woo.
Oh
The
no,
author
of
I
Rent
heard
a
about this.
Girlfriend?
I heard about this. He literally lost himself to the delusions of the
Yes.
girl.
Wow.
There have been Twitter posts of him going on dates with a cardboard cutout of the main girl.
Wow.
You know, this is an amazing opportunity for any Japanese woman who feels like they could land a guy easily. All they have to do is dress up like the girl.
What kind of makes it worse?
She's not made.
The author's married, by the way, so that's even worse.
Oh.
Wait, I'm sorry.
What last
Mm.
name?
I'm sorry. My brain has deleted the last 30 seconds to protect my brain, but I need to understand what's going on.
We're talking about Rent a Girlfriend. The author is married, and he also goes on dates with a cardboard cutout of the main heroine of the manga.
I mean, I
Oh.
feel like that's just a marketing stunt.
No.
I mean,
It could be.
No, this is Japan. This could 100% be
yeah,
just
that's. I was about to say, like, normally I might agree with you, but this is Japan we're talking about.
This is the land of yes, I will allow you to marry Miku unironically.
Yes, odds are about 50-50 between it being a marketing stunt or no, he's legitimately seriously dating his made-up girlfriend.
He's dating
While
his
being married.
made-up
Don't forget, by the
girlfriend,
way,
cardboard
the man
cutout.
that married Miku, the product that he was using to date Miku, refused to pay the marketing fees, and so canceled Miku.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Dude who made the waifu pillow.
Your waifu, she ended her terms of service and will no longer be supported by the company. So actually, your
No.
waifu will be.
This
spread
is
out.
the future the liberals want.
You won't.
Your
you
digital
won't own your waifu and
waifu
you'll
is
be happy.
actually being decommissioned because the company that created the product no longer wishes to pay licensing fees for it.
We'll send
so
somebody
Chobits.
back. Waifu.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Chobits.
That's
Literally Chobits. Chobits is the everyone was worried about the cyberpunk future when actually the dystopia we are entering is Chobits.
Mm.
Okay,
That's sad.
but there's hope that you too might acquire a beautiful innocent precious
Supercomputer?
cinnamon roll.
Oh, yeah, until, they decide to repo her.
Yeah.
By
Guys,
force.
I jailbroke my
Damn.
girlfriend. She left me.
Oh,
I remember
damn.
seeing a comic about that. That was weird.
Oh god, anyway, yes, you bastards, I am not dead. I have just been very busy and I'm swamped with college assignments. Don't worry, it gets worse. You think you don't have time to write in college?
Wait till you get to real life.
Boy.
All you have to do
the
is
only time you'll have that's the last time you'll have to write.
Boy.
So the best time to write is high school in terms of how much time you have.
Yes.
The last time you'll get to have time to write is college.
Unfortunately, as this graph, as you can see, I'm about to draw a graph here. Wait, no, you can't see the graph. Can I go to paint.net?
I'm sure
paint?
that's still up.
No, wow. Paint.net is
Wait, is it gone?
gone.
Oh no.
That's
awful.
JS Paint? Okay, yeah, great, fantastic. Thank
while
you.
Sneaky's figuring this out.
As you can see by this graph I'm drawing here, the top of this
commercial break.
graph is age, and skill is the bottom of the graph, you see. As age goes up, your skill goes up. But
Theoretically.
also, we have time here, and as age goes up, your time to write goes down, as you can see by this X mark here. College is this crossing of times where you're theoretically skilled and have time to write, but After college, as you can see, this is a completely unrealistic graph. I'm sorry, guys. Let me fix this graph right here.
Yeah,
So
that thing needs to be like plateauing at the moment.
yeah. So as you can see, the X mark still exists, but the second you exit college, it looks like this.
There we go.
It actually goes into the negatives. You actually lose time retroactively.
Yes.
Um,
That's great.
So, as you can see here, you will never write again after leaving college unless you sacrifice other hobbies for it. Because as it turns out, that college it will be the last time you ever have free time to write. I don't know how that works exactly because I really haven't changed my behavior at all, really, between college and working a job. It's just that now that I'm working a job, I just don't write anymore.
When men turn 30, they either devote their hobbies to one of two things: making figurines or Minecraft.
Pretty much. Waller, Texas, a lone Buc-ee's as opposed to a populated Buc-ee's. I mean, multiple Buckeye in one area. I mean, they don't really do that.
You don't understand the Buc-ee's, Sneaky.
No,
Pull
I
up a map
fuck.
of Houston and you'll see there's like 6 Buc-ee's surrounding Houston. So if there's a lone Buc-ee's, it's a Buc-ee's out on its own, on its lonesome.
Right, but what I'm saying is
I
there's
request
not.
you stop saying Bucky.
But what I'm saying is there's not a Buc-ee. No, Buc-ee is a fucking restaurant, dude. Fuck off.
It's a restaurant.
Yes,
It's
it's a
well,
restaurant and a
Restaurant,
gas station.
shop, gas
station,
station,
Walmart.
food
bunch of stuff.
service,
Listen, all I know
clothing
is
store,
my parents
supermarket.
want to take me to one because they want to show me the jerky wall.
No, to be
Yep.
fair, okay, Max.
Buc-ee's is great.
Actually,
No, here's the thing, I've had
We're
the
supposed
food
to
from
get
there.
one in
Their,
Louisiana soon.
their brisket
Eventually.
sandwich is
Yeah.
great.
yeah,
I
it's
love their
really
brisket
fucking
sandwich.
good. Yeah. Their jerky wall also took me by surprise, and I ended up leaving with like
Their
$120 of jerky.
their normal hickory smoked jerky, that is some real good shit.
I tried their fucking ghost pepper jerky, and I was like, holy shit, this shit burns so bad, but I can't stop eating it.
Oh, okay. You had the moment like, oh shit, I think they actually did use ghost pepper.
They definitely use ghost pepper, but it's so good. And I'm like fucking crying as I'm eating it, but I'm like, I can't stop.
Yeah, that definitely
but
sounds like a
yeah,
spice moment.
I'm dreading the day that Bucky sells or something or starts selling stuff online because that'll be the day Bucky stops being good.
Fun fact, they do.
No,
no.
there are several things they do not sell online. Notably their food items.
And that is where the powerful gentleman, Bucky's shipper of Texas, comes into play.
Hold up.
That's a thing.
Allow me to.
There is a individual who lives in Texas who runs a service where you can place an order for Bucky's food and he will ship it to you.
Texas
God bless
Snacks.
Texas.
Texas Snacks, world's biggest Bucky's reseller.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Bucky's reseller?
Yes.
Yeah, he goes
yeah,
and buys Buc-ee's and then
Okay, so Sneaky, I'm still correct then. Bucky's is still not selling stuff online. There's a reseller. Actually, it looks like a few resellers.
Bucky's does sell some of their stuff online, but they don't ship to like outside of like 30 miles of the locations.
That would be fine, except the closest Bucky's to me is 40 miles.
Yeah, I know. That's sort of my point. It's like it really pisses me off. It's why these resellers are being allowed to exist. Because they literally aren't in competition with Bucky's.
So, yeah. So just from Google alone, there are 3 resellers.
Yeah.
That I have found. I see. You know what? Fair enough.
I remember one reseller had to make a public post about people's orders, and he was like, guys, I want you to understand this. I am not a warehouse. I cannot buy you $900 of beef jerky.
Who's placing an order for $900?
Christmas order had to be.
People.
Eating that much jerky within the expiration period is dangerous. That's a lot of sodium, you stupid cunts.
And we're American. We don't give a fuck.
Anyway,
As the Dota players of the world cultivate that much salt.
Point being is that he was like, guys, when you make these orders, I can't buy you 40 shirts. Like, I'm not an official Buc-ee's reseller. I am going into these locations with multiple other people, and we're all buying like 5 shirts each and stuff to fill out these orders. I have to spread out which Buc-ee's locations I go to so they don't like fucking, you know, arrest me for trying to resell their shit when I'm not supposed to be. And the only reason why I'm getting away with it because on a technicality is I'm not competing with Buc-ee's. Because like he only sells like outside of the Buc-ee's zone effectively.
I should see if he can get me some fudge.
But he's like,
I think you can get your own.
You guys have to stop putting these giant fucking orders in. I'm not a warehouse. I am physically going into the store and buying the merchandise.
Please cease. I am not a miracle worker.
Oh, I am die. Thank you forever. Yes. That was a great moment, by the way.
No, that was the moment that cemented this dog as a favorite of several Western fans.
Poor Callie. Okay, press the button. Oh. Click. Oh, I am die. Thank you forever. Wait, what?
And thus, Callie learned about the great power of dog.
Dog.
Actually, I think Callie learned the importance of bilingual bomb translation instruction.
Yes. My favorite was fucking Fuamoko trying to do that recently. And let me just tell you, if you ever thought twins would have a better time communicating,
No. I never thought twins would have a better time communicating.
Not even slightly.
Sneaky, I feel like part of me feels like you and I should try that game to see if we get a recreation of the stair incident from Dark Souls.
What was the stair incident?
Me trying to direct you up the stairs for 20 minutes and us arguing over the instructions I gave being good or bad.
Yeah.
That's Sin's Fortress.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was not a good part of the run.
I can imagine what that was like, given what I know of Sneaky's sense of direction.
To this day, I still don't know if it was my fault or his fault or both our fault.
It was ultimately it was definitely both our faults because the location I was starting at was not the location you assumed I was at. And so by applying your directions to what you were giving me, I was ending up in places that were not the correct location. Take your next left off a cliff. Die, fucker.
I mean, you would think one of you would figure this out, that you're not starting from the same location.
No.
I mean...
So, I went to clear some stuff. So we were in Sneaky's world. I went to go clear enemies up ahead because I had big old shield. And Sneaky decided to clean up some of the loot while I was doing that, and I think that was the start of the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of just... Look, we each had singular brain cells at that moment, and they were not there was no brain cell to brain cell communication occurring.
To be fair, we ran Sin's Fortress in one go.
Yeah,
I think that was part of the problem, and it was probably one of our 1:30 a.m. sessions.
it was because
After
I know
3
it definitely
Play.
was, because I know I spent like the first 45 to an hour of Sin's Fortress getting fucking punted by those goddamn fucking axes. Because I'm a pyromancer and I was getting fucking kicked off and dying.
Or you would start to crowd your frontliner for some reason. And there
Yeah,
was no space on the bridge for you to do so.
yeah. Stop hiding behind your boyfriend.
Woo.
That's still the best fucking message chain.
But he makes such a good shield. Fair.
I still think I think the best thing about the Windows Live messages was the weird comments just fucking coming out of nowhere. Get invaded. Someone messages you. I am in your walls.
We had one dude.
And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And I just hear him breaking the pots in Orlando. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's in your wall.
Yeah, duh.
But we had one guy that invaded us. It's actually that same session we interacted with the dude telling you to quit hiding behind
Yeah.
me. It was the first time we'd ever seen dead angling.
Yeah, the guy,
In which
yeah.
he abused hitbox, and he sends me a message like, "Damn, I'm so good." I'm like, "Yeah, congratulations. You had to break the game to win."
Yeah, he had the fucking greatsword, and we were inside the little house at the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
And honestly, because I was wearing full hovel gear at that point, I should have just two-handed and just swung while he was swinging.
You
He
should have.
wasn't gonna
I mean,
escape.
yes.
Yeah.
I had higher DPS, and in full hovels gear, nothing is stunning you. People going about giant dead. It's like,
let's
hovels
be
gear.
real though. We had a fucking dirty combo going, like a full glass cannon pyromancer hiding behind their infinitely summonable hovel.
That one poor dude in Anne Orlando, it's like, I'm gonna go for Hobble, pulls Dragon Bow. I'm gonna go for the Pyromancer.
He gets hit by
Yep.
chaos fireball.
No, he didn't get hit by it. You started summoning it, and he's like, I'm gonna go for Hobble again, and I just hit him square in the chest.
No, I hit him with it because he was in the fucking lava pool when you shot him.
No, I shot him. Your lava pool hit him. He dodge rolled out, and on his way to get to the stairs, I nailed him in the back with another arrow. It's like,
Who do I
'Cause,
go after? The host who's a
'cause
glass cannon. Oh, the host of the glass cannon is preparing their glass cannon. I don't want to fight that.
Yeah. And the poor dude. I'd learned how to free aim and do like 180 turns
Yeah.
with the bow and arrow with the Dragon Slayer Great Bow in that game because you can do that by breaking the camera.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll just run around the hobble, and I just snap turn to him.
The
Hobble
I
cares
just
not.
unload.
the fucking JoJo music plays, snap turn. Yeah, no, I mean, the Dark Souls is good.
Dark Souls had so many fun little, like, abusable things. Because people don't realize that, one, you can free aim the Dragon Slayer Great Bow in any direction while you're aiming. And two, if you just turn your camera behind you without aiming down sights, and when you go to aim down sights, it does that instant 180, and that's what got him killed.
Yeah.
Just not knowing about that.
I also remember, hey, what's behind this door? Opens door, gets hit by Hydro Water Blast, dies.
Yes, the Hydra is very fun to fight.
Actually, sneaky. I don't remember which one of some of them. I remember like, all right, we'll check this door in Anne Orlando, and then one of us just suddenly closes. Like, what was behind it? Titanite Demon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll just ignore that room for the time being.
Oh, nope, never mind. Closes door.
We are too low health for this right now. I believe we closed it because we were near death, and you had no more Estus.
Yeah, I had no more Estus or spells. Yeah.
Pretty sure it was like your world was the world where things got fucked generally.
Dude, my world got fucking silly. I don't know how.
I will never forget. I'll never forget. Steps through fog door. Immediately hops right back out because Ornstein was at the door.
Not even hops back out voluntarily. He literally, Max is fucking sitting there waiting for him to be able to go in. And then I just come flying out, impaled on Ornstein's spear, lifted up and thrown. And he's like, okay.
It was also a one shot.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I didn't even stand the cutscene. He was killing me through the cutscene.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Well, the cutscene only plays the first time, I think.
Well, it still does the whole you're entering the zone thing.
Oh yeah, but like you going into the by the time I could press the button to enter the gate, Sneaky was coming back out on the end of the spear. It's like, wait, Ornstein would have had to be at the fog gate for this to occur.
It was some dumb shit.
Like, wait, no, hang on a second. We have fought these fuckers like 12 times now. This has never happened. Sneaky was particularly upset because that was a full waste of humanity.
Yeah.
Then Sneaky didn't even get to swing at anything and just kind of he walked in to die.
He walks in, gets impaled out of room, dies, doesn't answer questions.
Jesus, Atin.
I saw a chance to commit murder and I went.
Yeah,
I over here is just yeah.
I don't know what it was. The Ornstein Smo fight were interesting because it was one of the few times I wasn't able to consistently draw aggro from the AI. Ornstein had it in for Sneaky even in my world.
Ornstein, yeah, and then because we went to your world, and he still came for me because we were like, well, maybe it has like a host bias or something, and no, still me.
Yeah, like so the way co-op games normally work with me and Sneaky is, I can usually draw the AI no matter what. Ornstein was the exception to that.
Ornstein was like, this fucking little glass bitch dies, and it's like, what the fuck?
Then Dark Souls 2 happened, and they ruined Ornstein.
Smelled minimal health and decided that he wanted that.
Biggie and Smalls were like, "Hey, what you doing in our crib?" and just fucking slammed in your fucking face.
Ornstein was the exception to a rule that has held consistent for years of my friendship with Sneaky.
I don't know. I think the only thing I can even think of topping that was the Dark Souls 3 run with Atin. Specifically, fucking disco fight midair.
Yeah. I remember being like, I wonder if I can recreate this. Oh yeah, okay, you guys do it at like this perfect spot. Which is why it happened.
Fucking the head just unlatches from the skeleton. It goes insane, casting beams everywhere. And the attack just doesn't stop.
My favorite part was it was specifically a multiplayer interaction. It can only occur in multiplayer, or at least with a summon.
Usually.
Usually. Again, I was able to recreate it in solo, but it's like, man, they were just unlucky as fuck.
That fight, but I think the number one. Well, okay. So tied for the Ornstein is definitely gotta be, and Atin was here for this, is when we had a repeat of the Ornstein incident with fucking Freya. Where I am
Freya to own you?
Yeah, so we were dying to Freya because we had no idea she had 4 fucking phases, which is ridiculous.
Also,
B,
remember,
no one expected that. That was so good.
It
Oh,
was good.
amazing.
It was
Just,
good.
just remember, this is also because again, we did all the DLC at the same time, so this was not Freya.
Yeah, this is like plus
was-
6. This is like Freya plus 6.
I mean, it was +6 and +7 if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, no,
You are
because you gotta
remembering
keep in mind the
correctly.
Painted World DLC came out, before all that, so we were on like +5, +6 instead of like +6, +7.
It was still terrible.
But anyway, so Atin's there. He's waiting for me to enter the boss room. I am entering the boss room. I'm like about to touch the fog wall, and Freya's fucking scythe comes out of the fog wall and one-shots me. And Atin's just like, what
It was
the
sticky.
fuck?
You had touched the wall. You had touched the wall and just stepped through, and the scythe was inside of you.
Yeah, and I'm fucking flying back through the fog wall, impaled on the fucking scythe, dead. And he's just laughing. I'm like, what the fuck, not again?
This is a little bit too familiar for my liking.
If I had a nickel for every time I was impaled through the boss entrance by a boss that should not have been there, I would have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it happened twice.
You know, I guess we gotta be thankful it didn't happen a third time with Elden Ring.
It
With
was,
your
listen,
luck, it would have
That's
been
fair.
Radon.
It would have
listen. Oh yeah, listen. The whole thing, the whole event was.
Oh, well, I
just-
mean, technically speaking, with Radon, he did snipe me as I teleported into the arena, so I guess
yes,
that
he did.
counts.
But I want to say.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll count it as half, so it's happened 2.5 times.
2.5
Like,
times.
I teleport in, and I got hit by an arrow. Like, it wasn't even like a moment of like, oh, he's aiming at me, I have to dodge, and I didn't dodge. It was, I teleport in, hit by arrow.
It was honestly amazing. But my personal favorite Dark Souls memory with Sneaky occurred with
Gale.
the Throne Watcher and Throne Defender.
Oh.
Sneaky
Yeah.
has unlocked a repressed memory.
Yeah, those fights.
So we went in to fight them. It's a dual boss in Dark Souls 2. It's nowhere near as good as Biggie and Smalls. It's honestly quite disappointing. But they both have a move where they upstab you and then throw you down.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you get chained on that, Sneaky?
Bro, I got fucking chained so hard. I was like a goddamn pinata of blood.
He had just
Huh.
enough time to Estus before getting chained again.
Yeah.
This must have
Which
been on
is how the
Scholar
chain
first
continued.
Sen.
It was
on the
pre-scholar.
No, you were Sneaky. You were banned on Dark Souls 2. You were
Yeah,
shadow
no, it
banned.
was Scholar.
Oh, was
It
it
had to have
really?
been Scholar the first time. Yeah, because you and
yeah.
I started our Dark Souls 2 playthrough, and then because you went fucking with your soul memory, you got shadow banned.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, because we didn't understand. Because-
And that shit was just dumb.
And-
No, you
Or
weren't
no, I
there
wasn't
for
there,
that.
But
Yeah.
I know I
that was
wasn't there, but what I meant was no one understood the way that soul memory worked.
Yeah.
Well, no, we learned after Sneaky Shadow, like the same day of Sneaky Shadow, and it's like, okay, what's going on? No, actually, it was the day before, because you went looking for a trainer that same night.
Yeah, because he wanted
Yeah.
to change it.
But
Yeah,
no, the Gale
you
fight
overcommitted
will
Ari.
forever hold the #1 slot because of A, how just insane it was. B, the just everything about the Gale fight. Not even like what happened to us specifically during the Gale fight. Just the Gale fight is just possibly the best boss fight in Dark Souls history.
Not even
Mm.
wrong. It's
Yeah,
it's easily in the top 3.
I said
I
possibly.
would say
so-
I like some of the Bloodborne bosses more, but yeah.
But but then what happened during Atin and I fighting Gale was just so fucking just extra. It was so out there. There was no reason that should have worked. We're out of spells. We're out of Estus. We're both at 1 fucking HP. There is literally nothing left for us but getting lucky hits on Gale. Gale's got half his fucking health bar left on his 3rd phase. And for some reason, he is just casually walking at us. He is doing nothing but casually walk at us.
And remember, this is 3rd phase Gale, so it's actually intimidating.
Yeah, well, it's actually intimidating as fuck. And we're both fucking sitting there, battered, bloody, bruised. We are out. We had tried everything against him. We have emptied every idea on him, and we've only gotten to him to this point. And for some fucking reason, me shouting insults over the open mic gets aggro on him. And Atin runs up and slaps him with a sword. And he turns around to fight Atin, and then I start shouting insults at Gale again, and he turns back to me, and Atin gets another hit in, and he turns around to Atin, and I start insulting him again, and he turns around and walks to me again, and I'm just like, how is this working? And we literally did that for the rest of his health bar until he died. And we were just like, what the actual fuck just happened?
We're like, there's no way this should have worked. None. None at all.
I kind of regret sticking to vanilla of Dark Souls 3 instead of getting the DLCs. Bro, you missed out so hard.
Should
Oh.
go do the DLCs, man.
The DLCs for Dark Souls 3 were just literal god tier DLCs.
They do an amazing job of just being like, yeah, this is it. Dark Souls is done.
If you were going to sign off on a series, those DLCs, and also, let's be clear here, the vanilla ending of Dark Souls 3 as well. That's how you end a series.
Yeah, well, yeah, because what you do is you do most of the game pretty much until you get to the end of the game. Then you go and you do the Painted World of Ariandel. Then you should go and do whatever your ending for 3 is. Whatever your canon ending for 3 is. Then you go and do Ringed City.
Yeah.
Because the way Ringed City ends is just... It is one of the best goodbyes I've seen in a game in a long time.
Rain City was such a fucking point of like vindication for me and Sneaky with all the theory crafting.
Oh my god, I know, right? Yeah.
Oh my god, you people and your lore.
Yeah, you know what? Sneaky and I were right. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You people and your
like,
lore.
the thing is, though, is lore we came up with in Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2 hadn't even come out yet. There wasn't even an idea... no, there was an idea of a sequel. Which is why we played Dark Souls 1 in the first place. But, like, it wasn't even out yet. It was just announced, and that was it. Like, we didn't even know lore for it yet. And the lore Max and I came up with ended up being proven true 5 years later with Dark Souls 3. And it's just like, that was a great moment for us, A, first off. But B, literally just the final fight taking place at the end of the world, and not just at the end of the world, at the end of time.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dark Souls 3 releases, we get the different endings, and so you're like, fuck, we were right. I think the only thing we hadn't predicted with the mechanics of the cycle was that Gwyn is still at the very heart of it all.
No, I think
Gwyn
the
fucked up, and that entire fuck up is the reason why the series exists.
the only thing we didn't predict.
continuing on, like his soul was still there.
Yeah, no,
That's
the
the
only thing
one
we
thing we
didn't
have to
predict was the fact that the history of the souls would be present in whoever is the Lord of Cinder.
Yeah, we didn't
And
think that.
the other thing we didn't predict as far as that lore goes was that there was a new beginning after it all. I think that's it.
I mean, the
No,
painted
no,
world
I
is.
think I suggested something like that, like breaking the like there was the cycle repeats. There was a way to break the cycle to begin a new timeline entirely, which is kind of what's implied with Dark Souls, Age of Man ending,
Mhm.
leading in Dark Souls 2. And then there was the other theory of like, what if you just erase the flame entirely, which is what the Ringed World shows happening, which is everything just ceases to exist. In
I did it.
pretty
I
close to
stopped the
how
universe.
pretty close to
Well,
how Sneaky was crafting it as
yeah.
well.
It was, yeah, because time and space were interlinked, and with the erasure of time, space began to contract until it reached a singular point. And that's what the Ring
I'd
City
really love
was.
to play. I really want to replay Dark Souls 3 from the ground up again.
Yeah, good times, good times. But I mean, there's a lot of expectations now for Elden Ring. Big expectations.
Yeah. Apparently, a couple days ago, possible possible leak for the first big DLC's up release date. Sometime in February is what's being.
Hey guys, he's really southern because Country Roads is playing in his story. And he
Wait, what?
decides to fucking write the entire lyrics.
Oh, he does not.
Yes. He writes the lyrics of the entire song.
Oh, well, by the way, that's literally plagiarism, man. You've done nothing. You haven't even inserted yourself doing stupid shit between the lyrics. Come on now.
And he doesn't even have the good version of Country Roads playing. He shifted his car into 4-wheel drive to gain more torque.
For what purpose?
Because his car wasn't moving forward.
Was he stuck?
He was stuck in an anti-gravity field.
Ah, yes, of course, as one does.
So of course I'm jumping into 4 low.
Yeah. Just drop. Stuck in an anti-grav field. Just drop that shit into 4-wheel drive and torque your way out of there.
What could go wrong?
Look, I just need to rev it enough. It'll be fine.
You see, these are all-terrain tires, which means air is a terrain.
Look, have you seen some of the shit the monster trucks do? I'm just saying, man, it's possible.
Oh, God. 50-year-old man, he gets kidnapped in his truck. And so Dark Street, so he gets teleported into Vale in his truck.
The dream of every trucker.
Okay.
And on the tops of both his hands, where the nails would have gone, were 2 Catholic crosses.
Where the nails would have gone.
Yeah, the nails of Christ.
The nails
Yeah,
in
the stigmata.
Christ's hand. The stigmata, yes.
Oh my God.
The
Oh.
best boss item in the game. I hate myself for saying that, and I'm sorry.
Excuse me, sir, do you have a map?
What's a map?
Oh, wow, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Dude really inserted him into Dust Before Dawn in the first episode.
Of course, because that's what everyone does.
Your kid, put your hands, he got no reaction from the girl. And Lucas saw that this thug was mugging the girl, and he widened his eyes. And then, oh my god, they're mugging the girl too.
And this is when he pulls out his CCW and gets down to business.
No. You there, hands in the air. Lucas sharply looked over and saw another thug drawing his sword.
But he's from Texas. Why doesn't he have a gun?
Do these
An excellent
people
question.
realize they brought swords to a gunfight? And so Lucas draws his 10mm auto pistol and aims it at the thug.
That's better.
How about screw you? Unless you want a bullet in the eye, I suggest you back the fuck up. Then all of a sudden, one of the henchmen went flying and hitting the wall, surprising both men. Lucas then took the opportunity to shoot the sword out of his hand.
No, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
And non-lethally shoot him in the leg.
Fuck
Well,
you.
but what if you hit an artery?
And then he
What if you-
pistol whipped
what
the
if you
thug
shot-
in the face and knocked him out permanently.
That's just called death.
Wait, hang on. Did he actually use the word permanently there?
No, he just said knocking him out, but, obviously if you're fighting and you knock someone out, either they're
I have
permanently
knocked you
down
out.
or they're getting back up, and by the fact that they're not getting back up, well, that only leaves one kind of knocking out.
That's fair.
Mama said knock you out.
Indeed. Then two more thugs appeared, then girl from before appeared and tackled the thugs out the window. Didn't she originally use the first thug to crack the window because, I think those two thugs are dead now because they just got fucking bodied through a window.
It's a plate glass window. She knocked the first one out just straight out of the window in the
Yeah.
actual entry.
Well, in this story, she threw him into a wall instead of cracking the window with him. So she tackled two people through the window.
For a plate glass window, it's garbage.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. Still, they kind of got tackled through, so they don't exactly have momentum on their side, so they probably just ate glass shards to their face. Using this opportunity, Lucas shot them both non-lethally in the leg, immobilizing them.
Don't think that's how it works.
That's really not how that works.
And now that the thugs were immobilized after being non-lethally shot, he was in shock at what he was seeing because the 15-year-old girl had a giant scythe, which was obviously retractable by just first glance at it.
Obviously retractable.
Yes, obviously retractable.
Obviously.
Yes.
Obviously.
Oh, get her, he says. His goons then rushed the girl, who knocked them all out non-lethally with ease. Lucas snuck up on the criminal and put his gun to his head.
I'm sorry, I just want to take a moment. I think one of my favorite things of watching people play through Baldur's Gate 3 is when they're trying to knock someone out and then they use a ranged attack and go, wait, what? Why did they die?
Because you hit them
You
non-lethally
shot them
with an arrow.
It's non-lethal. You shot them
With an arrow.
Did you take the head
My-
off
my-
the arrow? No. Then guess what happens?
Well, I mean, actually, taking the head off the arrow just gives you a pointy stick that backs.
no,
Necessarily.
no, that depends on the arrow and the design.
Yeah.
There's several where
probably
the
just
tip
gives
is
you a-
actually just rounded off and it's tied on.
I suppose, yeah.
So
Or the other one is when they use magic and they expect it to be non-lethal. Oh shit, he died. Bro, you shot a lightning bolt through him. It's
It's
non-lethal.
not lethal.
Yeah, actually, that is something I actually hate about 5e, by the way. Is you can declare anything non-lethal damage Even
Oh,
if
I
it's
know.
a,
It's very dumb.
yeah, you can declare
Any
anything.
DM that has more than 5 brain cells ignores that rule.
Yeah, I know, but unfortunately my DM doesn't.
Yes, we know. You don't have to tell us about
It's
your
fair.
DM.
Here's the thing. I don't mind if the game is just like any melee attack can be made non-lethal. Okay, fine.
Yeah, no. I mean, melee attack, that's fine. It's like, okay, look, I'll hit him with the flat of my sword. Yeah, maybe he might get a minor concussion, but that's still better than him dying. I'm gonna non-lethally shoot you with a lightning bolt. I'm gonna non-lethally shoot you with a fireball. I'm gonna non-lethally shoot you with a meteor.
I'm sorry. I like the idea of the non-lethal fireball, and it's there's one situation where I'll argue that is acceptable.
I'm gonna lightly
You're fighting a dragon.
I'm gonna lightly roast you with my fireball.
I'm just gonna have it explode like a concussive force hit you.
Yeah, I'd like to
Now,
not
I will
launch a
say-
fireball at him. Okay,
will
cool.
say,
Well, he's
the-
not a dragon, so he's dead.
The one thing I will allow for a ranged non-lethal attack is a bard doing vicious mockery.
My DM allowed us. We were like, yeah, we want to specifically purchase blunt arrowheads, and he's like, yeah, okay, you can do that. That's a thing.
Yeah, that is something that I enjoy being able to do.
No, but like, in all seriousness, blunt arrowheads were something that was made, right? Sometimes
yes.
you just needed to knock a motherfucker out.
Yes.
I mean,
They don't knock a motherfucker out.
So anyway, he walks up to the criminal, Roman, and puts the muzzle directly into Roman's back.
You don't do that.
And then says, unless you want to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, put your hands in the air. So Roman smirks and uses his cane to knock the gun out of Lucas's hands.
Yeah. Exactly. But wait, no, he didn't reach for the sky.
And delivered a swift blow to his gut, and then smirked and used his cane to hit the 10mm pistol out of Lucas's hand, and delivered a swift blow to his gut, hitting his face.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Run that by me one more time.
He delivered a swift blow to his gut, striking his face.
I heard what I thought I did.
Okay. You could turn a blow to the gut into a strike to the face. Yes, that is absolutely a follow-up you could do.
However,
That
if
is
you are
not
punching
what
their stomach
occurred
and
here.
somehow striking their face, I have several questions.
Yeah.
Chiefly among them, when did we start fighting Oni?
When did we start fighting the fire giant?
Arcane.
Quick, make him fall off a cliff, bro. That was actually horrifying. That was actually so mean.
Making Lucas stumble. After the redneck got dazed, Roman turned back to the girl. Okay, so regardless of how he does it, he somehow punches Lucas in the face, and Lucas goes, and then stumbles away.
Instead of pulling the trigger.
And Roman is just like, alright, well, now that he's been Hollywood taken care of, I'm gonna go back to canon now.
Well, that was a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, canon happens, and then his cane is
As it
now a
often does.
rifle, and he shoots Ruby with it. Oh, okay.
How does that work?
His cane is something.
His cane's a grenade launcher.
I don't know about a grenade launcher.
I mean, grenade rifles do exist.
It's a small rocket or small grenade launcher, absolutely.
No, quite literally, his name is Roman Torchwick, and he uses a Roman candle. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So yeah, either grenade launcher or it's a rocket-propelled grenade. So anyway, it's point being, it's not a gun, it's not a rifle. A rifle is very specific in its properties of having a rifled barrel, which a Roman candle does not need or use. A rifled Roman candle.
Yeah, it has rifling on the barrel.
It's got
It could work.
the Roman candle's got rifling.
It lets the grenade spin faster.
Okay. Oh god.
Some
Some
grenade
people
launchers
be
are in
hilarious.
fact rifled.
Ruby then well, that's because those are actually chambered rounds instead of
Yes.
being a fucking Roman candle.
Like the MGL-40
Yeah.
or the fucking Milcor.
Yeah. Ruby then dodged the attack using Crescent Rose's rifle feature, which launched her into the air.
Really? I thought it would launch her into the stratosphere.
Rifle feature. Yeah. That's what launched her into the air. Yep.
The recoil.
No, not the recoil. The rifle feature. She
The
never
rifle
fired.
firing.
No. She never fired the gun. She used the rifle feature, which launched her into the air.
Mm-hmm.
No firing of the gun took place. It merely turned into a rifle and she started flying. Yep. No, that's... Yeah. That's how rifles work. Yeah, rifles give you the power of flight. That's
I'm gonna have to try this out.
not a well-known... Not a well-known glitch, but if you...
I'm gonna have to try
It's
this
real
out.
finicky to pull off, so...
When she landed, Roman was gone. She then saw the criminal climbing up a building. What both of them didn't realize was that Lucas actually got back up, holstered his gun, and opted for his 243.
243, yes. That is a rifle.
That he just...
That-
Had on him, eh?
Yeah,
He had
apparently.
his back, I guess.
But
Don't question why he has one.
well, no. My issue here is so I can believe that you're in a car and you just casually have your pistol in its holster on your hip.
Always, yes.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Why did he just have his rifle strapped on him as well while he was driving in his car?
You don't. It's physically not possible.
Yeah, that's my point.
We know, sign.
Is my point is that it would probably be like either on a rack or in the passenger seat or something.
As far as I know, in the vast majority of places, it does have to be in a rack. Like, an actual rifle needs to be on a rack.
Nah,
No.
I'll just leave that fucker sitting on the passenger seat with the barrel down the
No,
floorboard.
that's typically only in places that are like Illinois and Chicago. And
Somewhere where they're strict on that shit.
yeah.
Maybe if you had like an AR-15 on a single point front sling, sure, you might actually be able to sit with it in your lap, but it ain't gonna be comfortable.
Yeah, I just think it's just like really
Furthermore,
fucking weird.
you're not gonna do that if you're just... Listen, if
Yeah,
you're
if you're just driving.
if you're like, I am actively heading to war, sure.
Yeah, it's just like you just can't you like, but like, so you're confused. You're in a city. You're in a city, right? So here's the circumstances, right? So you're driving, you're going to hunting camp, and you're apparently driving with this. I guess it was, well, we don't know how it was going on, but anyway, so you get teleported into a city, and so you pull over at a store that's open, and you walk into the store with your probably not concealed carry pistol.
And your rifle
And
on your
you're
back.
openly carrying your rifle?
Yes, that is the thing we do down here.
In an unknown city?
Yes. Yes. It is legal.
In an unknown city.
What is it that we do here?
Apparently walk into
can't
stores
enforce
carrying a
walking
rifle.
Carrying your rifle.
Uh,
All the
I
time.
mean, it's less the city and more the state. So if the state's got an open carry policy, the city can shut its fucking mouth.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
my point is more, you have just been teleported into an unknown city. Your reaction is to pull up to a store and walk into it open carrying a rifle.
No, because if I don't know what state I'm in, fuck no. And if I have a
Probably
guess
not.
I'm in a different world, definitely not.
Yeah, but do you think this motherfucker never alluded to the thought that he might be somewhere else? He's just like, I don't know where I am. I should get a map.
So yes,
Okay,
so he
but
just
even if you don't
walks.
know where you
Okay,
are,
so if he doesn't know where he is, then he shouldn't be taking it in with him because he doesn't know where he is until he confirms.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's my point. Is he is
We can chalk
walking
into
an unknown store with a gun out.
If the writer is the same age as his character here, we can chalk this up to pure teenage stupidity.
But anyway, so
He's a FUD.
So yeah, yeah, 100% he's a fucking FUD, dude. He literally has him with the fucking edgiest goddamn pistol in existence, the 10mm.
No, that's the Deagle.
No, the Deagle actually has a purpose.
No, the Deagle is edgy. It's pure edge.
No, it's literally not.
The FBI, the 10mm used to be the standard go-to for the FBI. It was.
How
the
does that
service
not make
for
it
the
edgy?
FBI.
Yeah, it's just fetty.
It's not edgy. It's fetty, yes. It's not edgy.
Right, so it's edgy.
No, the Deagle is edgy.
No, the Deagle's not edgy. There is literally a point to the reason why the Deagle was made.
No, why was the Deagle made, Sneaky? Give us a listen.
Because literally they needed a sidearm that had a high power output with minimal ammo, extra ammo needed to be carried.
The motherfucker is not accurate. You would be doing better with a 45 or a 454 or almost literally anything than a 499 Deagle.
Yes, and you have to keep in mind that they are not having 50-yard combat where they were using the Deagle. Where they were using the Deagle was inside buildings.
20 feet maximum.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking dumb.
So they needed basically a pistol that acted with the same stopping power as a rifle in case the rifle ran out. Stopping power. Yes, they needed a giant fucking hole blown in the person.
Yes, they needed something that made fist-sized holes in someone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
So that's why the Deagle was made. Now, is your random jackass walking around the Deagle fucking stupid and chuny as shit? Yes.
Yes.
But the existence of the Deagle is not chuny. Unlike the 10mm.
No, it's not. It's fucking not.
There is no purpose to the 10mm. There is no purpose.
They wanted something they could standardize something too that had more punch than the standard round at the time, which was the 45 ACP round. They wanted something just slightly bigger, slightly punchier, thus the 10mm.
Cringe. There is nothing
Not
better
James
than
Bond.
God's 45
They-
AZP.
No, they wanted something that if they shot someone, they only needed one round.
Why
and
did
it
they
was
use a
their
deagle?
one round. Because the deagle hadn't been invented at the time, motherfucker. Well, the better question you should ask is why didn't they just invent the deagle? Because they liked having wrists. The reason why the 10mm was phased out because, well,
The 10mm sucks shit.
They started hiring limp-wristed pussies.
Well, it also sucks shit and jammed a lot.
That was the design of the gun, not a problem with the cartridge.
Okay, well, it doesn't change the fact that the 10mm has taken on a more mythical stance than the deagle has.
Yeah, it's kind of mythical and dumb. You'd be better off just getting a fucking 45.
Yes, literally. Or, God forbid, just getting a Glock.
Fuck a Glock.
I know. So anyway,
Look,
my point being with the spiel about this guy's rifle is, if he had a rifle this whole fucking time, why wasn't he just out here using it? Why did he have to walk up to Roman and be like, "Put your hands in the air, buddy"? Like, why didn't he just fucking take out his rifle and shoot?
Because then it wouldn't be cool and give the villain a chance to get away.
Yeah, I know,
And
right?
the plot wouldn't happen.
After loading a round into the chamber, he took aim and fired at the ladder, non-lethally disabling Roman.
Mm.
No, I'm just kidding. He just fired it at the ladder. I'm not really sure why he
I guess
fired
he wants to
at the
knock
ladder.
the ladder off the wall.
I guess.
That's not how
And
that
then,
works.
so Ruby is like, "Can I go after him?" And Lucas climbs out of the shop. Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean Lucas is climbing out of the shop?
He was never in the shop.
What the
He
fuck?
left the shop.
Yeah, he left the shop to go walk up behind Roman.
And then Roman smacked him, and he just fucking stood there. He never went back into the shop.
Yeah, don't you know he was stunned for 3 rounds?
No, that was less than 18 seconds.
But point B though is like, what the fuck do you mean he's climbing out of the shop now? Like, what? And the shop owner's like, "Go ahead, chase after the criminal, but be sure to bring Lucas with you." And then Lucas, who without a second thought joined Ruby in pursuit of the criminal. Lucas,
Did you mention the guy by name?
and then Lucas climbed up the ladder, and then Ruby jumped up, and then Lucas pulled out his 10mm again to confront the criminal again.
Instead of, using the ranged weapon for ranged combat.
Instead of using the rifle, he decides to holster the rifle again after missing once, and then being like, "Well, I have a better hit rate with my with my 10mm."
Stop. It's cursed.
He's got a better hit percentage with his 10mm, so he decided to take out his sidearm instead. And then, hey, persistent, drop the cane, put your hands above your head. And then an aircraft came out of nowhere. And Lucas fired at the aircraft, but was surprised when his 10mm did no damage to the fuselage.
Really? Fucking really? You're surprised that a small arms round did no damage to
a beetle jet. Yeah.
Okay, no. Actually, in reality, real jets, that would have punched straight through because it's just shitty aluminum and/or titanium. It's gonna go through. It's not meant to tank rounds. It's meant to hold itself up.
That's actually a good question. Small arms fire versus, let's go with the Black Hawk.
They had to armor the bottom of helicopters in Vietnam because people kept shooting up into them and killing the pilots. And only armored under the pilots with 1-inch steel plate.
Small arms fire can cause injury, death, possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Attack helicopter. Yeah, don't shoot at those. Luck of the shooter. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Come on, guys. Come on. Penetration power here. Come on. Give me fucking an answer that isn't just, hey, don't shoot at helicopters. They might shoot back.
Oh, that's a fucking dumb answer.
Yeah. Yeah, Kiowa chances are high. Incoming small arms fire has significant chance to disable the helicopter. Okay, fair enough. Okay, Black Hawk. Perhaps it'll look like a pool table. Full of holes, and you'll seriously hinder the ability for blah blah blah. Okay, so let's go with 10mm versus helicopter. Because, I mean, you have to keep in mind that fucking Ruby shooting it with a 50 caliber didn't do anything. Actually, no, isn't Ruby's a 20?
No, I'm not entirely sure. I want to say it's a 50. But the thing with that is, RT doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, as the authors of the world, whatever they say exists is how that works.
They have Glinda's ice punch through it, which is not moving with nearly the same forces around from that 50
Yeah,
millimeter
but she
array
used
of
magic and was a teacher.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Force is force. Physics is physics.
No, not unless it's cooler. Get it? Because, you know, it's the rule of cool, and she shot an icicle at it.
Yes. You fucker. I hate you. Shut up. Used rule of cool here. Oh, God. So dumb.
Powered by ChatGPT. And they didn't fucking scrub it at all. That's great. Oh, that's great.
Chat with a human, powered by ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything here about 10mm versus aircraft, so we'll just assume that the 10mm punches into the aircraft. But, you know, see,
Yes.
and we're in fantasy world where guns don't work on helicopters.
It's not a helicopter, it's a VTOL.
Yeah, well, this is VTOLs are super helicopters, don't you know?
Oh, yes, of course.
They are the sci-fi helicopter, which makes them like twice. They're like helicopter squared, which means they also have twice the armor of a helicopter.
The helicopter has no armor. You motherfucker! 0 times 0 is still 0.
Wait, what the fuck is this? Okay, so Lucas fires at the aircraft. He's surprised it deals 0 damage, and then Roman hops into the aircraft, holds up a crystal, and is like, "Hey, fuck you, shit ass!" And then throws the crystal, and then Lucas, realizing what happens, tackles Ruby out of the way, shielding her.
No.
Also, I feel like Roman could be improved by including the word shit ass in his vocabulary.
Yes.
And then Glinda shows up to save them both instead. I think blah blah blah. Huntress. Blah 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 blah. God fuck Cloud. Blah blah blah. Proceeded to rain down ice shards. That's right. She's using ice shards on the VTOL, and it's super effective because you see the VTOL is a flying type. And everyone knows that ice is super effective against flying.
Shut your mouth. Ooh. Ooh. Wow, so many levels.
Blah blah, was distracted. He tried to slip away. Wait, so dude, you teleport into an unknown city, get into a firefight with local gang members, fire on an aircraft in the city airspace, and then try and run away from a local, possibly police figure.
Yep, time to go.
And you think that's gonna roll?
Yep.
It did not, in fact, roll. You're not going anywhere, young man. Who are you? Blah blah. You're in no position to make demands. I mean, no, you're not. So, Lucas decided that he couldn't escape because his arm was burned, and so he gave up. Time skip brought to you by Chibi Lucas being healed by a medic at police station.
It
Not
does not
funny,
say
author.
that.
Author, I hope you step on a landmine. After talking with Ruby, blah blah blah, cross-shaped pin on the cowl, Lucas had his arms wrapped up, somehow healed of all injury. He was internally panicking and he wanted to go home and not be wrapped up in some sort of police investigation. So why did you get into a firefight with the local gangs then?
Well, everybody else was pulling out their guns, so I figured it'd be alright if I did it too.
I mean, well, sure, but why would you think the police wouldn't investigate it? Say, oh, I never wanted to be part of this police investigation. Well, why did you involve yourself in it? Well,
Because generally in Texas, they don't investigate that. They just go, was it self-defense? Yep. Alright, then you're free to go.
yeah, well, unless you're in Austin.
Or Houston.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Young man, do you have any idea how dangerous that was? And why did you choose to fight that criminal? That girl could have gotten hurt. That girl, the one with the force shield and the giant sniper scythe, who 1v7'd a bunch of thugs, she could have gotten hurt because of his actions. Sure. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be sitting with my thumb up my ass, letting some criminal rob poor man, and on top of that, I did get hurt. Thankfully, it was a minor burn. That does not excuse what you did. Why did you not call police? First off, my phone couldn't work. Second, there is reason I have rifle and gun. Third, I don't have the idea of what is fuck even happening.
Me playing Keep Your Rifle by Your Side on repeat.
Why didn't you call the police during the mugging? Well, first off, fuck you, my phone doesn't work. Second off, I have guns for a reason. That's to shoot criminals. I can't tell if based or cringe. I can't tell if based or cringe.
I mean, cringe for wanting to play hero. And ignoring...
Based because based. Cringe because the fucking stylizing yourself as some sort of, Midwestern cowboy bounty hunter in the modern era. And then he's like, well, the third reason I didn't call the police is because I don't know what's going on. What?
That's not a reason.
I don't know what's happening.
Open fire.
I mean, yeah, so a bunch of people try to rob me and try to rob that girl. And yeah, I might have fired guns on them. And I didn't know what was happening. I only knew a robbery was taking place, but I didn't know what was happening.
That is what was happening. A robbery was taking place.
But I didn't know what was happening, you know? Like, a robbery was happening, and I didn't know what was happening.
You are perfectly able to defend yourself. The second you start saying, don't move, partner, while trying
Don't
to
put your
do
hands
shit,
in the
like,
air
hey,
there, partner, lest you want to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life as I non-lethally disable you with my 10mm hand
Reach
cannon.
to the sky.
I mean, that's the point where the DM looks at you and asks, really?
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, I am going forward with my Flint Westwood idea.
I mean, I can't exactly fault you for that. I'm basically playing a dwarf engineer in my game currently.
That's fair. Is his name Torbjorn?
No.
Hmm.
By dwarf engineer, I mean Warhammer engineer.
Glinda was shocked by his outburst. But Ozpin stopped her from applying. I am Professor Ozpin. It appears you've lost your way. What?
No, really?
What? What kind of fucking opener is that? That's one hell of an understatement there, sir. I'm afraid. Afraid of what? I'm afraid of everything right now. 1 second I'm driving to hunting camp. Next I'm skidding to a stop in a city in the middle of the night. And I'm seeing a giant scythe-wielding girl with its also a rifle. And a woman controlling things with her mind. And another woman using fire. And I just don't know how that's possible, and that makes me afraid because I believe in Jesus, and I'm a small-minded individual who believes in Jesus.
Stop.
Yeah. That's either you and trying to embellish it, in which case I'm sorry, but it is not funny.
No.
Or this is the author trying to do that shit, and it is also not funny.
You want me to stop embellishing it and just tell you what the author's sense of humor is?
No, because honestly, it's probably worse.
Are we in some sort of European city or something?
Never mind, it is 100% worse. Holy shit.
Yes. Yeah. That's what the author thinks is funny. So, I'm gonna go back to making fun of the author, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
I mean, that was pretty funny. I'll give him that one.
Yeah, we got people throwing around magic powers. Must be in Europe.
Yeah, must be in Europe.
the Hungarians were at it again.
Me when I spend a single fucking second in Europe.
Europe?
The Hungarians.
Yeah, Europe, one of the 7 continents. Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, North, South America, Europe. All he got was blank stares, and this made the young man realize something was terribly wrong. It was clear now to him. Something was wrong. This is what made him think something was wrong. Not the teleportation into a city, not the gang members trying to mug a store with this weird-ass crystals in it, not
the girl with the huge rifle scythe.
Not the little 15-year-old midget wielding a scythe twice her body size. No, not the woman telekinetically controlling debris to shoot icicles at a VTOL. No, not the woman shooting fireballs from her hand. No, not the guy with a cane gun. No.
Not the person who healed him.
It's some random dude saying, "What's Europe?" That's what made him realize something was wrong.
Yep.
See, he clearly just thought he was in a Harry Potter universe.
You shut your mouth.
What
unfortunately
planet is
can't.
this? Lucas asks. Obviously it's Remnant, duh, Glinda says. No, I'm from another planet! I'm not crazy! Glinda rolls her eyes, but Ozpin was interested. Glinda, impossible. You can't be from another planet. Humans can't leave Remnant. No, it's true! I am from another planet! You gotta believe me! Ozpin nodded and agreed with him. You are from another planet.
Really, just like that. You're just gonna believe him, just like that.
Yep, because you see, Ozpin can see the truth on his face.
No.
And you see, the only other option that he doesn't know about semblances is the fact that he was shielded all his life from the idea of what a semblance is. But considering the fact that Lucas wears clothes and has a gun, he is obviously not shielded from the fact semblances exist.
What?
Huh?
And also, we looked at your guns and we couldn't find the company that made them.
No, really?
Also,
What about his ID?
Also, we looked up your vehicle and we couldn't find any vehicle ID for your vehicle either, so clearly you are from another planet.
Also, there's the fact that motherfucker runs on gasoline, not dust.
Also, hey, brand names on guns, brands don't exist. All the huntsmen make their own guns, and only Atlas mass produces guns as far as we're aware. So, literally, a company brand name producing guns probably doesn't really even exist if the technology to create your own gun is so simple that a 10-year-old child is expected to do so.
No, I think that certain basic weapons do exist and are mass produced in the world.
By Atlas.
Not necessarily all by Atlas. I think each kingdom makes its own.
Nope. Remember? Every kingdom but Atlas demilitarized completely.
That's not militarization. That is a civilian manufacturing. That's not military.
Yes,
No,
Rooster Teeth is dumb.
demilitarized completely. They don't have any military at all. Don't you
Yes.
know that means guns too? Because guns are part of the military. No, like
Oh,
you don't understand. Dude, they literally have never shown anyone in the entire series using a gun that isn't named that wasn't also part of the Atlas military.
they show the fucking. Okay, I hate to use this example. The fucking bandits doing it.
The bandits were using either named weapons, which you can look up on the Ruby Wiki, or they were using mass-produced Atlas guns.
Also, the White Fang. Similarly, now them I can
Named
believe using
weapons
mass-produced
or
Atlas
mass-produced
guns.
Atlas guns. Again,
These ones the bandits had did not look like mass-produced Atlas guns.
you don't know that. Is there a bandit manufacturer that manufactures bandit-looking guns?
And they're McFucking garbage.
Yes. They always make fucking garbage.
The last few minutes in VC have made me feel like I'm having a stroke.
Me when I see a bandit manufacturer cringe.
But the fire rate's so high.
They're not even that high.
It's so fucking bad. They're so terrible. Oh my god. I hate them.
No, the whole point of the bandit guns was that they had high magazine. They weren't even high fire rate.
Why would you even want them? They are the worst possible option. Every time I get them high, I'm
There
like,
is
oh,
literally
money.
there's not a single, even though the legendary bandit guns are absolute dog shit, and I don't understand what they were thinking when they made them. Like, okay,
I think there might
sure,
be one that was good.
like the clutch together. I like the clutch together aesthetic. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it. However, the whole magazine overheats and breaks thing, but you actually technically have an infinite magazine until it overheats. I think it's really fucking stupid because it doesn't.
There's a lot of things wrong with Borderlands 3 guns aside from Dahl. Dahl was the
Yes.
only one I think was actually improved.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
pretty
also
much.
in Borderlands 2?
Well,
Yeah, it was in Borderlands 2.
Bandit guns were in Borderlands 2.
I unironically believe Atlas manufacturing ruined Atlas.
Yes.
Yes.
But I was just saying, the bandit guns in Borderlands 3, their main issue is that they don't underheat, they don't cool. Yeah, they don't cool off fast enough to actually justify using them.
No, they're trash. You're supposed to swap them out with something else and let it cool.
Right. Wait, it actually cools when you don't have it equipped?
I thought that was the entire point. I never used them, but I figured
that point isn't made fucking clear to me.
I kind of thought that was how it was supposed to work, but I never fucking used them because they were fucking garbage.
Yeah, they were so bad. It was so hilariously bad. I don't know. Anyway, so point being though is I don't really think there would be a lot of branding going on. Like, sure, you would have gun companies that would produce gun parts, but considering the fact that apparently children are literally expected to make their own first custom mecha shift weapon.
Okay, I think that's because the schools actually have access to the technology to just go ahead and build that right on campus.
Right, but that doesn't really matter. But that still means the technology is simple enough that the child can understand it.
Well, Atlas has it, but what's the other one? Vacuo? Yeah, Vacuo doesn't. That's why their weapons look like, well, bandit trash. Borderlands bandit weapon trash.
Well, Vale has it, but like, still, point being though is
sure,
maybe you have companies that produce gun parts, but I don't really see a point in a world where apparently everyone has their own fucking custom weapon for a gun company to exist that produces mass-produced weapons.
Standardization. Cheap, easy.
Standardization doesn't fucking exist in Ruby, bro.
It would be cheap and easy to market to people who wanted to go out and, live out in the middle of fuck all nowhere.
And then they would have their own custom weapon, according to Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth is fucking dumb. They're retarded.
Yes,
we know this.
I'm aware. That does not, however, change the fact that we have to use Rooster Teeth's lore because we're not making our own fucking story here. We're operating off Rooster Teeth's lore to critique someone else's story.
Rooster Teeth never clarified it, however. Therefore, it's kind of left up in the air. They never said one way or the other.
But they did set a precedent.
They also set a precedent the other way. I'm telling you, there were episodes where it was shown that people had what looked like something you could just buy off a fucking shelf. Hunting guns, admittedly, but they did look like they were store-bought.
Alright. Anyway, so we looked at your vehicle, didn't find it. That's because it didn't exist before I was teleported to this planet. Putting that aside, I have questions for you. Sure, you mentioned hunting camp. Are you a hunter? Sure. Would you like to turn that into a career? What the fuck?
These two things do not cross over, author.
What do you mean? I'm running a school for huntsmen and huntresses. Huntresses. That's right, the huntresses. Huntsmen and huntresses.
I hate you.
Yep, well, then you'd live with it. They're responsible for protecting humanity from the Grim. I'm a pretty good shot with my 243, so sure, I'll become a huntsman. And if you help me go home, sure, I'll help you try and figure out a way home. I won't let you down. I hope you don't let me down. One more thing about my vehicle. I want to bring it with me, but I'll have to show you. Cut scene. You drive this massive vehicle? Glinda asked. Yeah, we rebuilt this thing from the ground up, and it's super custom. Sweet. I'm impressed you can drive this large, massive vehicle, Lucas, Ozpin says, clearly massively impressed by his gargantuan truck. Well, I grew up around these trucks, so it's not too hard for me to drive such a machine.
Is this supposed to be fucking Ellis?
How does it run? Glinda asked, marveling at the massive, immense truck before her. It uses a special thing called internal combustion with diesel fuel.
Oh god. Oh, you've just introduced them to fossil
Seeing
fuels.
the confused looks, Lucas was like, oh, well, do you guys have frying oil? Well, basically my truck runs on that.
You motherfucker!
Think frying oil, but it's a fuel. That's literally what he says.
Oh, that is not even remotely.
I came back at a stupid point, apparently.
Well, you just missed the part where the author was jacking off about how massively huge his truck was.
Glinda is thirsting over how big that truck is.
Well,
It's quite big to fit into an airship, but I guess we can bring it with us. Oh,
It's too big. to
once
fit,
again,
she
once
says.
again, it's one of those mythical airships are as big as I say they are. Lucas was dressed in his cowboy hat and boots. I want you to fucking step.
I'll allow it.
I want you to step on a landmine and a bear trap simultaneously, author.
No, he's from Texas. I'll allow it.
Aren't you Lucas? Yeah, it's me, your sister, blah, blah. So you're the boy my little sister told me about, Yang said like a flirtatious whore. She never told me you were handsome. Lucas was flustered by Yang's flirty nature.
Okay.
Yang, please stop flirting with him, Yang purred as she got closer to Lucas.
Oh, Jesus.
Relax, Ruby. I'm just trying to make him comfortable.
Okay, see, I write porn and this is making me uncomfortable. Author, what the fuck?
I write porn and I'm starting to get comfortable. The trio then turned to a TV report about faunus protests. I gotta do some research about this race of people. I gotta learn more about them if I'm gonna survive here.
Lucas, no. Don't research racistly. Remember it, Lucas.
He's unlocked his final form.
Canon.
What would Yang even
Canon,
fucking be doing anyway? She
canon.
showed up for Ruby and Canon.
Oh, okay, so outro music, Wandering Star by Lee Martin, and he proceeds to post the entire lyrics of that song, too. Was that a super long first chapter? Yeah, it was, boys and girls. Super long first chapter. My dude, that is a... You have 3 chapters and 16,000 words, which breaks down to, like, what? 5,000 words a chapter. My 5,000 words is not a super long chapter. Literally have a shotgun shoved up your ass, author.
5,000 words is literally my baseline for what I write.
It's a super long chapter. You write such long chapters, man. the
Oof,
whopping
wow.
5K words.
Yep. I need to charge more money if that's the case.
Yeah. I gotta write these long ass chapters. Oh, 5K words. So you know how long that takes me? Well, according to your commission sheet, that actually takes you several months.
Fuck off, Sneaky. No.
What do I want to leave as a review?
Step on a bear trap and a
Step on a
landmine
landmine.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
Curse of Ra, maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the only fanfic story we covered tonight, but boy howdy did we have a lot to fucking talk about on it. Anyway, we will see everyone on Friday because there's always more and it always gets worse and holy shit.
I would like to declare a public fatwa against whoever ruined the Atlas guns in Borderlands 3.